Recently I was searching YouTube for an easy way to make a realistic miniature pine tree, and I just couldn't find a video I liked. They were all either too tedious, not realistic enough, or required expensive materials and tools. In this video, I'll show you my method for making an easy, cheap, and realistic pine tree. The materials I'll be using are acrylic paint, a wooden dowel, floral wire, golden fiber paste, flocking, static grass, and some other basic tools such as spray adhesive, sandpaper, a knife, super glue, paint brushes, and a drill with a 1x16 drill bit. First, I'm going to sand the dowel to a point. I'm also going to carve the bottom to a point so I can stick it into the ground of my diorama. Next, I'm going to drill holes into the dowel. These holes are where our branches are going to be. It's very important to use a reference picture when making miniature pine trees. I'm going to drill holes in similar patterns to real trees. One thing I noticed while looking at pine trees is that in dense forests, further down the tree there are less branches, and instead little stubs or short branches. So I'll drill holes and I'll fill those with wire. Next, I'm going to twist the wire together and make them into the shape of branches. I'll secure the branches in place using super glue. You can also add more branches to existing wires by twisting them together and adding more super glue. This is when it's especially important to use a reference to mimic the way that branches look. Next, I'm going to cover the entire thing in fiber paste using a paintbrush. Layer it the thickest at the bottom of the trunk, and use up and down brush strokes to copy the pattern of tree bark. Another thing I want to mention is that this fiber paste is a little expensive. I got the small container for $16, but it'll last you a lifetime and it's really worth it. 1 a.m. editing me here. I just wanted to mention that there is an alternative to the golden fiber paste, and I will link a video down below on how to make that. Now that the fiber paste has dried, I'm going to paint the tree, doing my best to copy patterns I see on real trees. The last step is to add the pine needles, so we're going to start by spraying the branches with this spray adhesive. I'm going to try not to get the trunk of the tree and just hit the branches. You also want to be careful where you're spraying this. I'm outside because the spray adhesive will damage anything that you care about. So. No, it's gonna explode. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, now we're back to business. Alright, now we're gonna put the static grass on. Close up of that. Alright, now that I put the static grass on, I put more glue on it and I'm going to add this. Didn't get much. I'm going to do it again. Okay, so my end result ended up being very bushy. What I'm gonna do is take a paintbrush. I'm just gonna wipe off all that extra foliage that I don't want. I'm also gonna get it off of the trunk itself. You can keep it this bushy if you want to. I have an example here of a less bushy pine tree that I made. So just whichever you like better. But I think